we have to sometimes take a lot of steps back before we can move forward. You have to experience the depths of these different feelings in order to truly appreciate what matters in life. You can't shortcut it. You can't buy your way out of it.
I'm Jeremiah Boucher, a commercial real estate investor with over 20 years experience. This show is designed to help you build your business, become a better real estate investor, and help you see opportunities that will keep you ahead of the competition. This is Finding Your Edge.
Change is so much harder than we think it is. To truly change, right? To change the way that we feel, the way that we are wired, where we've been wired a certain way our whole life, our neurological responses, our nervous system. And then to truly change our habits, our ideas, the way that we show up in the world, that is a very, very challenging thing to do. And I was thinking about it tonight. I'm sitting at dinner alone, writing in my journal. And I'm thinking, there's no intellectual idea that's like, oh, okay, I got it. Now I'm totally changed. Right? You read a book, or you go to a seminar, or you have a conversation. That's just one little ripple. And to truly change, in my mind, it takes so much longer than you think. Right? Like building a habit of being able to play a sport or play the piano. It's seemingly useless repetitive action, where in the moment you read one book, or you read a page of a book, right? Or you write in your journal, or you watch a video, and that alone makes just a tiny, tiny impact. But yet then you have the responsibility to live it out in life, and then also repetitively reinforce these new ideas, these new feelings, these new ways of relating to yourself and to other people. And there's no shortcuts. There's none. You have to experience all the aspects of yourself in order to truly change. And that's if you want to change. Yet if there's this voice inside that's telling you it's time to shift, like what I've been doing does not fulfill me. And I think it takes a lot of courage to listen to that voice, because there's a lot of voices, there's a lot of messages out there that are telling you to do things a certain way, and that's how you live life, right? And that is different for everybody. We've all been raised differently, and we all have a different voice. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different ways that we were raised. Some people, it's spiritual. Other people, it's Christianity, it's Muslim, or it's philosophy, or it's therapy, or it's just watching Friends on TV and having fun and zoning out. But everybody has this way they design that the way they communicate and connect with themselves. And I think deep down, people, they feel they want to change. And I think at our core, we have our nature. And maybe that's just bubbling up and saying that the life that you're living is not the life that you're here to live. And I think so many people, including myself, are scared to listen to that voice, because you don't know if it's real, if there's truth in it, and there's no clear direction of where to go. But all we can feel is pain and pleasure, right? And then it's distinguishing the difference between it. This pleasure is going to burn me. It's going to bite me, right? There's a hangover. It's a hit. It's a sugar high. And then there's pleasure that takes work, and it's fulfilling, and it hurts, and it's hard to get. But when you work for it and you build it, or you create it, it feels so satisfying and you want to continue to move towards it. And that's this whole dopamine thing that, it's all over social media and the way that we're wired. I'd like to think that there's a consciousness in us that we're not just impulsively chasing pleasure, that there's a way to develop a deeper relationship to feeling that sense of happiness, fulfillment, pleasure. But it's a clean, it's a pure, it's a sustainable way to feel it. And for me, I have always been a driven person. I think I've been wired to neurologically feel amped up, like even in the womb with my mom. My nervous system is on high alert. And I always felt that sense of being on edge. And that's why it was so appealing to drink alcohol or to indulge in all types of pleasures, to feel for a second, oh, wow, like you don't have to feel anxious. You don't have to feel on edge. You don't have to feel afraid that something is going to attack or there's something that's wrong. And I think a lot of people are talking about mental health, and a lot of people feel that constant buzz of anxiety and anxiousness and fear. And there's this underlying feeling that doesn't go away. And that's why we see what our culture values is instant ways to get out of that feeling. Ways it's so convenient to dive into all of these different channels that will feel pretty good, right? It's a lot of pleasures. There's food and there's the social media videos and movies and sports and games and all these things. Whatever it is that you would like, it's fun to go out and have drinks or hang out and talk mindlessly about whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think it doesn't cure the underlying sense of anxiousness, because when you're alone and we have this relationship where it's just you and you have to sit with yourself at some point, no matter how many kids you have, no matter your relationship with your partner, no matter how many friends or how much adoration or fame or fans or whatever you have, you're sitting there alone. And you have to be, you don't have to, I guess you get the option to decide if you're going to be honest with that relationship and how you feel. And pain, I've been talking about this a lot because I've been thinking about it. Pain is this message where if something doesn't feel right, it helps us understand a little bit deeper about, well, why is this off? Because things are going to happen that are going to be painful. Like it is the experience. It is the dichotomy of living. It's the only way we can feel good is if we feel bad, right? And that's just an intellectual concept, and it makes sense. You can't have dark without light, right? You can't have high without low. You can't have north without south. Like you have to have the duality. But that doesn't mean anything. What really means something is where there's this resonance where you're like, okay, I don't feel good, and I'm experiencing life through a way that I want to shift. And then that's why we go pursue all of these goals and these relationships and our hobbies and our interests and our connections and communication. And that's we're trying to figure out, how do we live a fulfilling life where ultimately we're not freaking out all the time and we feel at peace, we feel safe, we feel empowered, we feel strong. That's what we all want to feel. That is universal. And at least for me, I haven't felt that way most of my life. There's moments. And then I started to see, though, as things were taken away, where I was the best at this one little thing in this one little pond, right? I was the best player on this one team. Soon thereafter, there was a million other players that were way better than me. And that that didn't fulfill me, or that, because that was easily taken away. Or if you have a lot of money, right? But there's someone with more money. And if you're good looking, there's someone more good looking. And I'm saying, if that is the thing that gives you that momentarily safety or that pleasure, that's easily taken away. And realizing even the closest people in our life, they can be taken away. Or the things that we put our heart and soul into, our businesses, our investments, can be taken away. And they probably won't, but certain things will. At some point, our health will be taken away. We will die. At some point, our relationship will go away. They will pass away, or there's a shift and people go in different directions. And close people, we will lose. And there's many, many things that will come up in our life that will expose these areas of weakness or these areas of pain that we're forced to face. And when we face these, that's when we find out who we really are. And what I mean by that is, I'm sure you can think of a time in your life where no matter what other people compared it to, you felt completely lost and broken, completely depressed or sad. And those moments, those times, they reveal this matters to me. All this other shit doesn't really matter. But when I'm in this place, when I am broken down to the basics, just to the crying on the floor, completely lost, like, that's where you figure out what matters. And that's where a lot of you is revealed. How am I showing up? And sometimes it's just taking the next step, right? You don't even know where you're going. And I feel like that's probably what the spiritual scriptures have been talking about for thousands of years. Is it's almost like obliterating the ego, where one of my favorite movies of all time is Fight Club, and one of the scenes there or the quotes that Tyler Durden talks about, one of the protagonists is, losing all hope is freedom. Some people don't like that quote, but sometimes there's a point where we hit so much despair in our own relative world, because there's so much that we have to be grateful for, and we're not starving to death. But I'm saying, emotionally and spiritually, we hit this place where we feel so empty and so much despair that, in my experience, it was like I had to let go of all hope of anything, of trying to acknowledge that it's going to get better, that I'm going to go build this big thing and I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to find another amazing person in my life. And in those moments of just intense pain, it's just, this is it. All I got is right here and right now. And I'm breathing and my heart's beating, and I have no hope for anything. I'm just alive. I am here. And some people may not relate to that at all. But for me, destroying that ego and realizing that none of that matter, like there's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing left to lose in the spiritual sense. I mean, there's a lot to lose. You can continue to hit rock bottom again and again and again. But emotionally being exposed and saying, this is it, and I'm letting go. And I think there's some serious freedom to that, because from that perspective, you can start to realize that all that matters is that just the basic things. Man, I can walk, I can talk, I can see, I can feel the sun on my skin, I can breathe in the air, I can have a conversation with someone, I can move around, I can make one decision at a time. I can sit here and just choose how I want to live my life. And this is quite philosophical, isn't it? But I think when people have been in these places, that we have to sometimes take a lot of steps back before we can move forward. And what I mean is, you have to experience the depths of these different feelings in order to truly appreciate what matters in life. You can't bypass it. You can't shortcut it. You can't buy your way out of it. It's this relationship with you and whatever is inside you that is conscious, whatever God is, whatever that belief is. We all get to decide what's the truth of it all. And these moments of loss and of pain and of disconnection and of hopelessness put it right in our face. It's like God or whatever built us said, I'm going to show you a way that you can truly, truly reveal more about who you are. And you need this reflection. You need this perspective to experience yourself in all ways. And that in turn, I think, allows us to experience other people in depths that are not possible until you go to places that most people don't want to go to, because it's too scary, it's too hard. And when we face the demons, when we face the inner dragon, right, in the hero's journey, if we face these parts of us that we don't want to touch, we don't want to see, we don't want to acknowledge, and we start to come to peace that there's a darkness, there's a lightness, there's a depth, there's an emptiness, and there's still a fullness inside. There's all of this inside us, but I see all of it, and I'm not afraid of it. And the fact that I'm not afraid of it allows me to not be so afraid of everything outside me. Because then I start realizing that the things that I thought I needed to fix this pain inside don't work. The only thing that works is experiencing moment by moment the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs. And it is a long process. When you're not numbing out in life, when I'm not, when I was in my 20s, I thought time was going by so fast. I'd go out drinking all weekend. It'd take me a few days to recover, and I'm chasing the next dream to make more money, and time's just flying by, and I was exhausted. You're spending a day just recovering. But I'm just saying that however you live your life, if you numb out, then life seems to just drift by. But when you're conscious of how I feel and aware, even though you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, but you're present, it starts creating a large sense of time. Like time slows down, at least in my experience. And that is a beautiful way to change. It's the only way to change, because if we're on autopilot all the time, we're constantly looking outside of ourselves. And when we actually sit with the decisions that we make or the way that we are experiencing the world, it's slow. Like things slow down quite a bit. So there's no instant switch, right? I think that's the way that the game is designed, is that what we think is going to be an immediate shift and it's going to fix our life. And we're all sold on buying the next product, taking the next course, learning from the next guru, indulging in the next exciting adventure. It's going to be the fix. And the reality is that there is no fix. The reality is we have an experience moment by moment, and then we get to decide who we want to be, how we want to show up, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, deep down, what's in the layers and layers and layers of what's my truth. And that I think there's so much power in that the fact to be brave enough to go through that when time is moving so slow and it feels like it's one of those lulls in your life and there's not a lot that is getting you excited, but showing up and continually looking for just looking inside yourself and deciding I'm going to go for this even if it doesn't feel good, or I'm going to leave this because I know that's not right for me. And letting go of all hope that you're gonna get acknowledged for all these special things you're gonna do, or you're gonna find this answer that's gonna make it all better. Just letting it all, dropping it, letting it all go, and just saying, I'm trusting in this moment every single moment, day, hour, minute, and that's all I can count on. And that is painstaking, right? If you've been through it, you know that those feelings, your mind plays tricks on you with those feelings. You think, I got it. I overcame this obstacle. I overcame this hurt or this challenge. And then it reveals that, nope, you have a lot more to learn. And each moment that we don't lie to ourselves and we continue to find meaning in what we're doing or how we're feeling again and again and again, it's not a movie scene. It's not a Rocky scene where you just bounce out of it and then you get to the final rounds and you win you win the bout. You win the championship. It doesn't play out in life like that. We just have to experience these things. And then but the beautiful thing is what I'm seeing in myself is these shifts inside start to make an impact where now the way that I show up is different, where I can listen and I can be there and observe what other people are doing or observe what's going on in my life, rather than I'm just on this autopilot, hitting the gas and the brake at the same time, redlining my whole system. Like I could slow down. I can speak more deliberately. I can endure conflict. I can sense how people are feeling or what their real intentions are. I can sense my own behaviors that are where I'm triggered and I'm acting in a way that I don't want to act. I can truly be more objective the best way I can, even though I'm having this subjective experience in my body. But having that awareness creates flexibility, which creates options, which creates choice, lots of choices. And I think that's true power. And I can regurgitate information that I've read and heard, and I'm probably doing that because that's how I've been programmed to live, right? It's all these environmental and habitual patterns. Yet I think that there's an intellectual way to experience it, and then there's this emotional, physical, and then, I don't know, a spiritual way to experience it. And that's where the answers lie, is being in these moments where you get to endure these feelings and these moments of despair and these moments of silence and these moments of joy. I think there's a lot more answers, though, in the silence. It's probably why meditation and presence has been endorsed, or it's been shared by all spiritual leaders since the beginning of time. or beginning of humanity. So there's some answers in there, and this is not that entertaining of a podcast, but I think that if you're going through something hard, if you're going through something difficult in your life and you're dealing with those inner dragons, like there is a beautiful transformation, right? That come out of you from that experience. You have that, like the phoenix rises from the ashes. The fire burns away a lot of parts of us that are no longer needed. And we get to truly experience what we want to experience with the pain, but yet without so much fear and weakness. And the last thing I want to share is, there's this tough culture. Get over it. People have it better than you. Why are you whining? Focus on the positive. And there's merit to that for sure. We got to get up and get shit done, right? But then there's the other side where healing is done in the heart. No one else's trauma is worse than yours, no matter, and people have had extremely bad trauma. But what I'm saying is that everyone's trauma, everyone's pain is valid. It makes an impact and it affects who we are. And when healing in the heart, it's not useful to compare it to someone else's. I think there's a space there where we have to acknowledge it and feel it and be kind and graceful around it and let that pain sit and let the experience occur and let the fear come. And if we're able to do that, then we can heal. But if we keep shoving it down or we keep denying it or we compare it, you can't really heal. And when you heal, you're not hurt anymore, because hurt people hurt other people. But when we're able to help ourselves heal, we can be there for other people and help them heal. So there's meaning. When you can endure this pain, you can understand more people. You can understand how they feel, and you can try to see their perspective, no matter how different it is than yours. And it also sends you a message that I don't have to stop here. Like I've been here before and this pain is here, but do I want to let it hold me back, or is it time to push through it or to let go of it or to experience it differently? Right? We get that choice, and it can be a catalyst to shift all this discomfort that we continually feel and move through it, because the message is telling us, wake up. Wake up. I want you to hear this. I want you to feel this. And the fact that you're feeling it means that I'm trying to tell you something, that there is a problem. We don't just live, we're designed to not be in perpetual pain. And that's a wake-up call. That's a beautiful thing. I guess the last point around pain I want to share is that, well, that's it. That's all I got. To be continued. It's always fun. If you got something out of this, I'm glad I could connect with you. So enjoy your weekend. Spend a little time alone. Dive into some pain. And enjoy a lot of pleasure. Have a lot of fun. But just be honest with yourself and tell the truth. Because that's where all the answers lie. The only relationship we get is with ourselves. So as long as deep down we feel good, fulfilled, meaningful, strong, more than we feel weak, guilty, shameful, painful, anxious, worried, then we're winning in life. That's it. So I'll see you next time. Signing off.